Okay, if you're in the military, moving to San Diego, should you buy a home in this crazy expensive, overinflated place? Well, in this video, I'm going to talk to you why you might want to buy a home, but I'm also cover the very big reason why you probably should never buy a home when stationed here in San Diego. Let's go. What's up everyone, my name is Cameron Hodge. On this channel I talk about moving to and living in San Diego, California. I drop videos every Tuesday and Thursday helping you to learn everything about moving to San Diego, and I absolutely love it. But what I love even more is I'm a licensed real estate agent here in the state of California and San Diego, and what I love even more is helping you with those real estate decisions when making the move out here. So this number popping up below so you can get a hold of me, send me a call, text, email, it doesn't really matter how you reach out to me, but I'm here for you when you reach out, days, nights, weekends, anytime that you need me, I am here for you. All right, so you're watching this video, you're in the military, you're looking to make the move to San Diego. Well, looking to make the move, you're probably already getting forced to, let's be honest here. And you're getting ready to come out here, you probably have a family, you're like, okay, you know, I could live on base, but then they're gonna take our entire BAH and we're not gonna have any money coming in. What should we do? Look, this is something I found myself really into when I was active duty here in San Diego, and to be honest with you, it's one of those things where I think, you know, people avoid it a lot. I mean, I know I did with our family, and in retrospect, how crazy things are now, you know, real estate's one of those things in hindsight, you know, hindsight's always 20/20, and I really wish I would have bought something back then. Like, you know, it's, if we would have bought a home back then, it would have been, you know, probably a better position today financially for our family. And I've seen many other of my fellow servicemen and women who have purchased something here in San Diego, and they're in amazing positions, or even whether they live here or they're renting it out when they left, because it's just one of those markets that people always overlook it. They look at California, they're like, it's crazy expensive. I know that was me for like the longest time. I was like, I look here and I'd be like, oh my god, screw this. I mean, like I said before, I still remember when I came here and gas was $5. Now it's like $6.40 a gallon. It's crazy, insanely expensive. But it doesn't mean you should overlook it, because don't forget, even though the prices are higher, your BAH is going to be higher. Now that being said, like, sure, if you're like an E2, E3 with a young family, like, sure, it might be a little difficult if you're the only income to be able to get into even like a condo or townhome here in San Diego. That doesn't mean you can't, so obviously reach out. That's why I'm here, to help have that conversation with you, with me and my team, so we can figure out if it is even a possibility for you, or what would be, you know, a possible solution for you moving forward. Also, I do want to give another point too. Like, you know, I've had a lot of veterans lately who are like, oh, I'm going to look to buy a home. I want to buy a home when I move to San Diego. And my question is like, well, are you buying a home just for your family's better well-being? Or are you looking to get something for an investment? Because there's a lot of ways to go about it. And, you know, San Diego, for investing, it's possible to invest in the city, but also keep in mind, like, it can be a little difficult if you're looking to get into something crazy. But I also have veterans who, they're single, like E6, got a client right now, E6, and he is looking to buy a condo, but he can easily rent out 2 other rooms that he's not living in to his fellow, geez, I can't talk today, his fellow sailors. And he's gonna be cutting his costs substantially down to live in that condo. So that way, that's his way of putting more money in his pocket. And veterans here in San Diego do that every single day. And I've even met veterans who have actually joined together. Like, you didn't know that already, you can actually join together with another veteran on your VA loan, as long as you both have a good entitlement. And like, I've seen them buy multifamily properties, where it might be a 4 unit home or complex. They're living in 1 unit by themselves as roommates, and they rent out the other 3. And this happens every single day. So there's a lot of options here in San Diego. Like, don't discredit it. Now, you know, that being said, we're gonna assume that, you know, you're looking to get a home for your family, you're PCSing here, and you're like, look, I see how crazy the interest rates are, how the home prices are. Like, it's probably just like a no-go, right? Not always. So one thing you have to keep in mind, like, you know, even when I bought our first home in San Diego, oh man, had to be like 2016, 17. And, you know, we still paid closer to like a 4.5%, 5% interest rate. Yeah, yes, I know interest rates are like 6% right now, but keep in mind, like, you know, it's like an average time. Like, it's not a crazy number to have like a 6% interest rate, but it's also one of those things where you need to understand that, you know, they'll eventually come down. It's the home prices, I think, scare a lot of people, because yes, like, when you buy that home, like, that's the price you're paying. So, but that being said, there are still good deals out there. Like, I had a had a captain in Marines. He worked at the recruiting depot, the depot down here in San Diego, and we were able to get him a home that wasn't on market and $5,000 under value. And that was even like earlier in 2022 when it was still a crazy market. Now with interest rates going up, we're starting to see more neutrality. We're starting to see where you as a buyer might be able to get some concessions or maybe a little bit of repairs done on the home where, you know, not too long ago, you'd be forced to do everything. You'd be forced to fix everything. You'd be forced to repair everything, and it'd just be a complete mess. So it's one thing that people need to keep in mind, that it's not as scary as it was previously in the past. Now, I don't think buying a home is for everyone, because look, if you're going to get a home and you're getting stationed out here, like, sure, if you're like, look, it's gonna be like 2 years or less, and you know we have a little bit of debt, we have, you know, like, we probably won't be able to qualify for a home, and we really don't want to put us and the kiddos in a condo or something like that. I get it, totally understand. Like, it's one of those things where, like, obviously it's so expensive, you might be stuck to living in a condo or townhome, and you might not want to do that. You might not want to be like, look, I can't afford a full-size single family home, I just don't want to do it. Or maybe the homes that you can afford, you're traveling a long distance to be able to get there, and that's one of those things. Like, I made that drive, and like, so in San Diego, I was stationed on MCS Miramar, which is like about the center of the county, and I would travel north to North County, which is like towards Pendleton, where I lived. And one of the downfalls with that is, like, there are days, like, it would take me an hour and a half to get home because of traffic. So I'd get off at like 5:30, and it would take me like an hour and a half to get home. It was miserable and it sucked, because it's like, you know, it's hard enough obviously to be in the military that you work those long hours, and then you got to add the crazy traffic on top of that. It's miserable. And it didn't always used to be that way, but it's, you know, San Diego's definitely getting more crowded, like I think a lot of cities are, but you know, so that comes into play. So I understand, like, if you're in a situation, you have to understand that if maybe you shouldn't buy a home, if it's just like, there's no reason to buy any piece of real estate. If living there, it's just going to make you miserable. You're going to hate your life. You're not going to want to, like, enjoy the time off you do have with your family there. So it's like, it's just not worth it. You know, it's easy if you're single and you have no family, because then you can make anything work, as long as you're probably going to rent rooms out and might want to make it profitable. But keep in mind that obviously when you have family, like, you want to make sure their well-being is taken care of. Now, a lot of times, you know, people try and look immediately next to the base, but I'll be honest with you, all the bases here in San Diego are probably, you know, the immediate communities right off base are probably going to be the most expensive. You're going to have a hard time. But a lot of people, if you are willing to drive when you are, you know, traveling to work, is you actually might be able to get a bigger home, like, you know, Temecula, Marietta. That's a really big area that a lot of military members live in, because instead of paying like $800,000 for a home, or like $750, now you might be able to get one for like $600 to $650, like, you know, on the smaller end starter home size. So there's a lot that goes into it. Even the townhomes in those areas are substantially bigger than they would be down south. They're gonna have pools and things like that. So like, it just gets newer, more amenities than you would expect in a lot of the older communities in North County, San Diego. Now, that being said, there's also our new constructions in the area as well. So keep in mind, if you're like living on base in a different duty station, and you know, like, hey, I am PCSing in the fall, so fall, we are heading out. Well, you might actually be in a position, potentially, depending on how long your timeline is, to get into there's a lot of townhome new constructions here in San Diego going on. So potentially you could get into a new construction. There's a lot of details go into it, so obviously reach out if you need more specific details, because it all comes down to when's the next lot being built. Do you have like up to 8 months to be able to, you know, get into the home and things like that. So there's a lot of details that come into that. Also, if you have a home to sell and all these craziness. Actually, that brings in another detail as well. Is if you are looking to buy a home here, but let's say you own a home in a different state with a VA loan, you know, you have to do something with that property. Now, yes, you could rent the home out where you're leaving, and that negates your mortgage, but it doesn't give back your VA eligibility. And sometimes now you can refinance into a conventional loan, but keep in mind, with rates being higher, like, you really have to weigh out your options, right? Because maybe if you do want to just maintain that property, you're not fully set on buying a home here in San Diego, maybe you should just live on base, give up your BAH, but then you're renting that home out for a profit in a different state. And, you know, that's totally fine. A lot of times after living there for a year with your VA loan, like, you do have that ability to do that. Or you do have the ability to refinance it into a conventional loan. So always an option, because keep in mind, you are going to need that ability back if you want to use your VA loan when you move out here to San Diego. And usually because of home prices, it's probably going to be your most advantageous position. And I know a lot of people got really scared with the VA loan. Like, you can't buy anything in San Diego. It was crazy competitive, but I can tell you, like, with my clients, we were still getting homes. So it really just comes down to a good plan, knowing what you want, your non-negotiables, and getting out there and getting at it and having someone who's there fighting for you to make sure you can get their VA loan and you're not getting screwed in the process. But, you know, don't overlook San Diego. Like, it, man, and this is, I'm preaching to the choir here, but like, I did it for so many years when I got stationed out here. You know, I came from the country in New York, so like $100,000 home over there was probably like, wow, that's, you know, I'd get a good sized home for that. Not here. It doesn't even exist. So that's something that really caught me off guard, because I was just like, man, like I really just want to, you know, get something, but like, it kind of get that initial sticker shock just scares so many people away. I implore you to actually like just start doing your research, start looking into what the rents are, what things are, because you'd be really surprised. And don't forget also the on-base housing. Like, I mean, heading in May, they were at 97% capacity for Camp Pendleton. That's crazy. 97% of on-base housing was filled. Why? Because it's so expensive here. But keep in mind, a lot of people, they get scared when they get moved here and they just go into base housing and they give up that entire BA's paycheck for not building equity. They're not even like probably enjoying their life, because living on base, you're surrounded by that stuff 24/7. It's annoying coming on and off base. So, I mean, it can't be the best time ever. That being said, as well, is the cool thing is when you get to actually get into a home here in San Diego, is that you start to understand and appreciate the area that you live in, because you're traveling back and forth. You're probably going to find things to do with the family on the weekends. Like, there's a lot that goes into it, and not every area is the same. So that's why it's also important to keep in mind, like, you know, being with a professional who understands, like, and not just one professional, but a whole team working for you, because you're going to be in a position where it's already stressful moving in the military. Now you need someone who's going to be able to run everything and be able to track getting into that home in time, because you're in the military, you're moving no matter what. And you need to make sure that you can get into a home at the right time so that you have a home to get into when you get stationed here, because no one wants that. I think we've all seen stories where people get stationed here, their families like staying back where they were coming from, you know, the members living in the freaking hotel, like it, you know, it just goes down. It can go downhill so fast if everything is not lining up perfectly when making the move out here. So all that lines up. Now, summarize everything. Should you buy a home in San Diego? It depends. I think most of the time it would be advantageous, assuming that you can qualify for something that makes you happy, because that's what really matters. Like, if you can't qualify for what you want in the areas you want, then I say it's a no-go, not worth it. But keep in mind, because of the base housing situation, you may be forced to play that hand. And rents in San Diego are not friendly, and it's also as competitive to get a rental here in San Diego currently as it is buying a home. So all that weighs into it. But that being said, if you're coming to San Diego and you need to figure out, does this even make sense for you, and have an honest opinion about that, this number popping up below is how you can get a hold of me. Call, text, email, it doesn't matter what you do. I'm here for you when you PCS out here to San Diego. I've done it, I've been there, I've had family, I've had to figure out schools for the kids, the drive time, what areas make sense, what are some ghetto areas that I should not avoid and not live in and avoid. I can't, obviously there's no steering you in any direction, but it's making sure you understand where the crime rates are, looking at that public information. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some insight on whether this makes sense for you, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe you're like, hey, thank God I know that this is not for me. So hope you enjoyed this video. Look forward to seeing you in the next one.